So what is up everyone? Today I want to share with you my experiences with one of the best portrait lenses money can buy, the Tair 11. Stay tuned. As you might have guessed from my last review, which was the Jupiter 9, I am a big fan of old Russian glass, and I do a lot of portraiture work. This is quite a big hobby of mine, and if you combine those two facts, then there is mainly just one lens to go, the Tair 11. So the Tair 11 was produced in Russia, and it is a 133mm f2.8. It was introduced in the year 1958 in Brussels, and it won a prize, the so-called Grand Prix. Now to the technical data. It exists out of 4 lenses in 3 groups, and the minimum focusing distance is about 1.2 meters. It weighs something around 600 grams and is quite a hefty object for a 135mm lens. This lens has quite an unique aperture system because it uses 20, yes, and you've heard right, 20 aperture blades, resulting in a really lovely bokeh. If you have a look at the serial numbers, then you can say something about which type of for whom this lens was created. If you have 3 zeros on the beginning, then you have a prototype or a test lens. Those are quite rare because they weren't sold like that officially, and if you got one of them, then you are really lucky. If you have 2 zeros on the front, they are quite rare as well. You have because they were reserved for the highest parliament leaders and for VIPs of the Russian system, so they are really rare as well. If you have 1 zero at the front, then those were for the leaders of the fabric. So, and actually this is what I've got. My serial number has 1 zero at the front, so I can say it is quite a rare lens because they were produced just for the employees, the wealthy of the fabric. If there is not a zero on the beginning of the digit, then those are the normal lenses produced for the normal market. If you have a look at my example, this is quite a rare one. As I've already told you, you can have a look at this via the zeros at the front. Mine is quite interesting because it has the old construction, but so it is a silver look, and it is the 133S, but it has an M42 mount. Most of those silver ones with 133 millimeters have the M39 Leica screw mount, but this one hasn't. This one is a standard M42. Yes, so as you might have already known, there are two different lenses. There is the old one, the 133 millimeters, which was introduced in 1956, and there is the new one, which has 135 millimeters. They look quite a bit different. The optical formula is the same one, but the coatings on the front lens are different. The older ones are not that good than the newer ones, but you can correct for that in Lightroom. So in the post process, there is a way to correct those problems. The main problems that occur are the contrast levels in harsh sunlight. But yes, as I've told you, you can correct that. The main selling point for me for this lens was a quote I found on the internet, but I've lost the link. So I will repeat as my memoirs allows me to. So the author wrote, there are just two words to describe this lens, and that's magical rendering. And after holding it in my hand, I have to say, yes, the author was right. This lens really is magical. You can use this lens with the aperture wide open. So in the pictures you will see that it is sharp even at 2.8. It has really nice colors. The contrast is okay-ish, but you will have to use a lens hood so that the light, so that the contrast will come up if the light isn't that good for you. But what this lens really is about is the bokeh. There are not a lot of lenses that render the light like this lens does. The out of focus areas are just so smooth, there isn't anything harsh at it, so this just makes it the perfect focal length and the perfect rendering for portraits. So if you are a portrait photographer and you have a little bit cash to spend on a lens, then this 133mm f2.8 might be really the thing for you. The prices are quite cheap, so you can get one for something around 100 to 150 euros. They really have gone up in prices a bit. They were 5 years ago something like 50 to 100 euros, but yes, you can find them cheap now. They won't be cheaper anymore. So if you have to summarize this lens, you can say it is a great performing portrait lens with amazing bokeh, good contrasts, a lot of sharpness from the biggest opening, and great value for money. This lens will go up in price a lot in the next few years because they are getting more and more collectible, and if you have the opportunity to buy one, then you should snag one up. Thank you for watching, have a good one, bye.